when the tapes were released, that was probably in the mid 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
1985, 86, 87, something that
yeah.
around that time. So I was born 1983. So a couple of years
Really
later. Yeah.
good for you. That was my start, as I said. Yeah,
That was your start.
I
Okay.
was 24 at the time when
How are you? Okay.
I was born in 61, and I was
Yeah. So
yeah.
I grew up with all these tapes. So as soon as these tapes were released, my parents bought them. And
That's it's a great honor.
yeah,
I like
and
those stories. I like that.
yeah, and so we got them for like birthdays, Christmas, Easter. So that way, because you released tapes, I think every couple of months. So there was always very soon another occasion to get another tape.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, yeah,
think our parents really liked the stories as well. So they were really keen to buy them for us because they felt like,
yeah,
so they were listening in the background because they were challenged by the stories and made them
yeah.
think. And then they also used it as conversation points. So we just listened to the stories. We did not
Yeah.
understand the second layer of meaning behind it. And they were just saying, oh, who do you think the Scarlet Queen is? Who do you think the prince is? What do you think it means? And
Mm-hmm.
it was just a very clever way of them talking to us and teaching us Bible
Yeah,
stories and Bible truths
yeah,
and the Christian worldview through just talking what it means. And then, so yeah, I mean, we listened to them nonstop over and over. Old CD tapes, not CD tapes, like cassettes, like which there was
yeah.
pre-CD player, and yeah, I mean, we listened to them hundreds of times in the car journeys at home, and yeah, and then
It warms my heart.
yeah, good, yeah, so we loved them,
Yeah,
and then
because that
obviously
is
then
when occasionally people write or
yeah,
email,
mm,
which doesn't happen too often, but these
mm,
are the stories, and that is
mm,
because that is what we wanted.
mm,
And we also said when people came to me and people said, kids don't understand what you're saying. I said, it doesn't matter. They will like it.
yeah,
And we also and we knew, of course,
mm,
because people kept saying us, oh, we have to the parents, they told us as
mm,
they were, oh, we have to listen to those stories on and on because the kids want. And so we
mm,
said, yeah, of course. Now we start
mm,
writing, also put little things in there for the parents because
mm,
we know some of the puns or the jokes
mm,
the
yeah,
kids wouldn't
and
understand, but it's for the parents.
yeah,
And what you say, that is something we wanted
mm,
desperately to
yeah.
happen, that people can use those
Mm.
tapes to talk about
Yeah, I guess it
children.
reminds me a bit of there's two types of Pixar films. Some Pixar films are aimed at children only, and they're the not so great Pixar films. And there's other ones which go like they have like two layers where there's lots of funny bits in there only the adults understand, and they're a bit more grown up. But the kids still love it for the animation, but the adults can relate because they're good stories.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah,
and I felt Stravinsky specifically worked really well. So parents liked it, and as kids as
yeah,
well. Yeah, and then so I listened to them through my childhood, and then I grew up in Germany, and then in 2002 I moved to England after finishing my A levels, and I did 2 years of Christian youth work over there, and that's where I
yeah.
met my lovely wife Abby, who is English.
Wonderful. I love the UK. It's a perfect combination.
Yes, yeah, oh, especially with like C.S.
Since the royal
Lewis.
family is half German,
It's true. Yeah, we're taking
yeah.
over.
So that's it. Always have this a good mixture,
Yeah,
in generally speaking.
that's right. Yeah, and yeah, so I then came across in 2002, and my wife is English, so like we met in England, eventually got married. We studied together in Canterbury, and then at university. So I think I was in my second year of university, roughly. I came across some DVDs by Scott Cawthon, which lots of people on the internet nowadays know. And Scott Cawthon at that point, he did Christian animations called The Pilgrim's Progress. And I was just blown away by that. I was like, okay, this is one guy in America by himself in his bedroom, having a full-time job, but in his spare time, he creates an hour animation each year by just working on this on the side.
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself, I'd love to do this. I always wanted to make films, and I always felt like I couldn't do animation because it's too hard. But then seeing him doing that in his spare time with, at that point was very good quality. Obviously, things have moved on 20 years later now. And that's when I started teaching myself. And I was thinking, okay, I need a story. I need to apply the skills I'm learning to make a film. And I was really challenged by making animations because it's quite hard learning all the software and the technology and the visuals of it. And I was like, I can't write a story at the same time. It's too much. And also, if you write your own story, when you make an animation, you try to simplify it because everything I'm making up in my story I have to animate then. So if I would have written the story, I would have left out the big animation when Globglogabgalab turns into an elephant and then goes to the roof and breaks the roof. I would have not writing this because I can't animate this.
Well, great, isn't it? I'm so sorry about my pronunciation, but I still have to get used to this trunk. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. This is really embarrassing.
But so the first scene I created was the cello. So the cello felt like, okay, that's quite manageable. It's one living room, one cello, no arms, no legs. Actually, she had arms, but it's very basic animation. So I was like, I can do this. And then I just did scene after scene. And eventually, towards the end of the film, I was like, okay, I have to do the elephant now. Okay, and I have to break the scene.
You started with the cello? Was that the first?
The cello was the first scene. Cello was the absolute first scene I did.
Oh, don't step on it! It's very sensitive. Horsehair. You understand.
So I started in the middle of the film.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking to myself, well, it is a simple scene, but also the other thing I felt like I knew I would improve as I was making the film. I knew it would take quite some time.
Okay, yeah.
And the last thing I wanted was the animation starting badly and getting better and better and better. So because I would think if the first 10 minutes of the film is rubbish, people will switch off at that point and never reach the ending of it.
Yeah.
So the final bits I animated was the beginning and the end. So it literally, it worked from the middle. I started the cello. Yeah. I did the Gilbert Bibber scene in the basement and his song, and then gradually filled out the middle bit and then worked my way to the end and eventually had the whole thing together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it all came together that sense. But because I didn't write the story, because you wrote the story and Tim Thomas made the music, it made my job a lot easier because I knew it was a really good story that worked really well. It also forced me to be disciplined and do everything that's in the story.
Yeah.
And it took about 5 years. So I started in 2007, I think, in earnest. And then in the middle of it, because each frame took 15 minutes to render out, I was getting up in the morning, switching on my animation computer, rendering while I did my other day job during the day. And then switched off the computer in the evening at 10 o'clock, and it was just rendering in the background, just frame after frame. And so it was quite a time of effort, but